Hello everybody, and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more Plague Inc. Evolved Custom Scenarios. Guys, when Kaiserreich made it into the popular tab of Plague Inc. Evolved, you must have known that I was going to pick it up. If I can find the darn thing, where'd you go? I had you a minute ago. Gosh dang it, you're here somewhere. There you are. By Sakura de Familia. Now, for those of you who watch this channel exclusively for Plague Inc. content, you may not know that Kaiserreich is an overhaul mod for Hearts of Iron 4, which is a World War II grand strategy game. And Kaiserreich asks and answers the simple question, what would the world look like if the Germans had won World War I? Answer, very different. It's been a lot of fun on this channel, but very, very different from this game. I'm curious to see how this is going to translate into Plague Inc. Germans won the World War I. That's how you say it, the World War I. Okay. And maintained the present condition. Can you infect the world in this deranged world? Can you infect the world in this deranged world? The phrasing is amazing here. This mod reproduces the world that is called Kaiserreich in Hearts of Iron series. Has fun. Okay, let's give it a shot. Huh, looks like we get to choose what type of disease we want. Be kind of fun to go for the Necroa virus so that we can have not quite Nazi zombies, because they're not actually the Nazis. You know, they're part of the Kaiserreich and all that stuff, but I don't know. I mean, we'll stick with the typical bacteria just because it's the most generic of the bunch, but we could play around if we wanted to. Metabolic Jump, Genetic Mimic, Aquaside, Streamophile, and Symptostasis are for us normal difficulty, and PAX 12. Alright, fine. Totally victory of Germans. Deutsches Reich and the Entente have signed a peace deal ending their hostilities. This treaty means substantial victory of Germans. What on earth will be happened? Oh, this is gonna be fun, isn't it? The entire world changed. Syndicalists wage war against French Republic and Great Britain and defeat both of them. Now the entire world changed. Choose starting country carefully. I'll bet you everything's been renamed. The Union of Britain, the France Commune, Spanish Kingdom, the German Empire, Italian Federation, Poland still Poland, Russian Republic, at least for now, King, Sultanate of Egypt, United States of America. The Ottomans should still exist. Yes, they do indeed. Okay, so I'm very curious to see if some of the actual events of Kaiserreich are going to somehow make their way into Plague Inc. Are we going to have the American Civil War? Yeah, it doesn't actually split the country. That's not possible. Okay, I get that. But still, that could be kind of fun. I don't know. Let's see what happens. We're going to start in Germany because it seems appropriate. Not that it's a good starting location, because it arguably is one of the worst possible starting locations in the game, but we'll pick it up anyway. Transmissions are the generic ones, nothing new there. Symptoms, the generic ones, nothing new there. Abilities, the generic ones, nothing new there. Gosh, dang it. I've been hoodwinked. There's no actual customization, is there? Maybe I'll get lucky and say that there are some pop-ups or something. I hope, dear God, please. I don't know. We need to save up some drug resistance ASAP, actually. And Germany is cold and humid, apparently. Fascinating. So we want to go for some water transmissions. Severe storms hit someplace. I don't care about Tripolitania. That seems irrelevant. Jabal Shamar is a thing, yeah. Australasian Confederation. East Australasia. Colony of the Netherlands. I mean, all this stuff is correct in the Kaiserreich world. Deutsches Madagascar. Deutsche Middle Africa. Yep. All of that is correct. And yet, somehow, it's not enough to justify a full new scenario to me. Let's go for some cold resistance. Not that I really need much, but I don't really know what to do at this point. Come on, I need pop-ups. If you don't give me, like, the Spanish Civil War, which I don't even remember if that happens in Kaiserreich. I don't think it does. Maybe it does. I don't know. Or Russia going through all of its change, because Russia can be anything. Or the American Civil War. Like, you gotta give me something, otherwise how is this Kaiserreich? All you did was rename the countries? Unacceptable. There's gotta be more. Let's go for the rash, let's go for the sweating. Sweating and pneumonia, of course, will be quite good for us just to get infectivity, but also because, hey, guess what? It's freaking Germany, which is apparently cold and rich. Hypersensitivity would make some sense as well, which is why I'm working toward that, too. It's a poor man's drug resistance, don't you know? Alright, well, if this is the case, then I apologize for those of you who are going to think this is a very boring scenario to play. I kind of had to do it because people have requested it, because who doesn't look at Kaiserreich and think, that sounds like something you should do? Because I agree, it does sound like something that I should do. And yet, it does appear that it's not going to work. By the way, I did also just realize that the author has removed all plane transmission. There are no airports because it is 1936. Did we have no air travel back in 1936? I mean, I know that planes were still relatively new and fighters and stuff were still a thing, but I'm pretty sure we had generic air travel back then. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, though. I could be completely wrong. Who freaking knows at this point? All right. Well, we're getting up into Russia. I guess I'm going to have to focus on my typical transmissions like water transmission and so on if we want to have a chance of spreading around. We're getting out of the rich countries, which is great. Let's hope that the boats are able to carry me to victory. Without having aircraft to take me places, it's going to be harder to get into places like New Zealand, which means we are going to slow the game down substantially. Let's go for abscesses. So here's the thing, right? I expected a Kaiserreich scenario that actually had, you know, something to do with frickin' Kaiserreich. This is just, what would it look like if we had a worldwide pandemic in 1936 when apparently there was no air travel, but everything else is exactly the same as before? And the answer is, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's not interesting. It's not exciting. I don't care. Let's go ahead and pick up some bacterial resilience and stuff since it's cheap. Need more hot resistance since we did start off in a cold nation, technically. Bacterial resilience level 2 should do just fine. The wealthy nations have basically already succumbed to me. The Dominion of Canada is still holding out somehow, but that's not going to last for very long. I think we'll be fine. We can get necrosis pretty much anytime we want. I'm going to go for the insomnia paranoia. We're going to go for some insects for a little bit more hot transmission since that'll make things a teeny bit easier. And there we go with New Zealand, blah, blah, blah. Turns out everything's going to be fine. Now, the Union of Britain may have started the global cure effort, but here's the thing. The Union of Britain despises the German Empire. So would they work together? It appears that they're going to, but they shouldn't. Wait, why is the German Empire in lower cases here, but it's not over here? That doesn't make sense. Also, you shouldn't have the Austrian Empire. Just make it the Danubian Confederation. That's just more fun. This is a terrible introduction to the Kaiserreich for those of you who have not watched it. It actually is a good mod, or at least it used to be before they changed some things that I have disagreements about. But it is quite good. I mean, the world really is completely different in a lot of ways. You know, you're asking the question of, like, what happens if socialism and communism isn't really a thing as much as the different variant, syndicalism, which is worker direct ownership of all of the means of production. Think super unions. That's basically what that concept is. That's a complete different, like, political change. You have the imperialists and the authoritarian Democrats and paternal autocrats versus the liberal federations and social democrats and so on. Like, there's a lot of different political changes. I mean, if you like Hearts of Iron, you like World War II, and you like alternate history, then it's a really, really cool mod pack. This does not translate pretty much anything. Let's go for the necrosis. Let's go for the paralysis, coma, and total organ failure, as well as seizures, and work toward that insanity next. Everyone's going to plop over dead. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. When I picked this up, I really expected it to be more Kaiserreich themed. I was going to do this. I mean, I feel like I have to post this video anyway just because I know people were going to ask for it, right? The second people see that in the popular tab, it had to be done. But I will admit, this is highly unsatisfying. Oh, we missed the Empire of Japan. Well, crap. All right, I guess I'll restart just to say that I didn't lose the scenario. All right, there we go. Didn't really do anything different. Won just fine. By the way, we did still get the event for a nuclear explosion in the Spanish Kingdom. 1937, and apparently they had a nuclear failure. I'm just saying, like, the author didn't really put much effort into this scenario at all besides renaming countries, which to me is just not good enough. This is a prime example, in my book, of how not to do a scenario. It is not enough to simply just rename everything and say, oh, it's Kaiserreich. No, it's not. I get what the theme of your renaming is, but it's also not worth freaking doing a scenario. At least in my opinion, it's not. You missed out on so many great opportunities. You could have had the American Civil War. You could have had some of the uprisings in India or China. You could have had some of the conflict between Middle Europa and the Third International. You could have had a whole bunch of different things going on there, and you missed out on a lot of opportunities to actually make it Kaiserreich themed. It's no different than playing the base game. If I wasn't actually reading the names of the countries, it would mean nothing to me, and that's what marks a bad scenario. I could totally have played this not paying attention to one little detail, and I never would have known that this was actually customized. That's a mistake. Also, I guess there is one other change, and that's the planes, which I don't even agree with because I don't think that's correct. We did have air travel back then, so that was even then a bad change. It's just not a good scenario. I'm sorry to say, it's not. I wanted something fun Kaiserreich-based, but it's not. You didn't even take the due diligence to remove the events that don't make any sense. So I'm gonna have to say no, and I'm sorry to do it. I'm sorry for those of you guys who watch this and were expecting something really cool. I was hoping for something really cool, but it is a massive letdown. Unfortunate. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, then be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Leave some suggestions on what to play next, and I will see you guys next time.